Hi everybody, my name's Erin. We're going to make a meatloaf dinner tonight. We have our potatoes boiling for the mashed potatoes. We have butternut squash doing the same thing for the sides. And then a little corn niblet that just goes in your microwave. Come on over here, I'll show you how to put the meatloaf together. So I use kind of an 80-20. 20% I have ground pork and the rest is Hamburg. Okay? So you take them out of the packets. Get them like room temperature. It cooks better when it's room temperature. You just make sure these are down to a simmer, not a rolling boil. You don't want them boiling over while you're doing your meatloaf. Okay, we're good. Your oven's preheated to 375 for your loaf. Okay, so you got your meat. It's all incorporated. It's come up to room temperature. You want to use a lot of S&P, a lot of salt and pepper, because you won't get to add it again. And I already did that, so I will go easy on that. Okay. 2 eggs, also room temperature, half of a small onion, and then you got your breadcrumbs and your meatloaf pack. Okay, so I'm going to put the eggs in, and that's 2 regular size eggs. There's the second one. Okay, so get them incorporated a little bit before you put in any of your breadcrumbs. Okay, so that's again just the egg incorporated with the meat. Okay, we want a little bit of moisture. So then, I use McCormick's. Some people use Bell's. I find this is the most flavorful. Again, 2 pounds of meat, however, whatever ground you want. I use the, I told you, 80-20. This is just the egg and the packet in your meat. I'm going to incorporate the onions in a minute.
And how many onions did you cut for that?
I cut 1/2 of a small or medium size, 1/2. That's optional. Some kids don't like onion. You can specify. Get that incorporated. And we're going to go in with the breadcrumbs after. Half a cup.
Can you hold it? Can I see what those are?
Sure, plain breadcrumbs. You don't want a seasoned breadcrumb or an Italian style breadcrumb. You want a plain breadcrumb because otherwise it will take on the flavor of your, you want a plain breadcrumb in a meatloaf, otherwise you'll change it. And we want like half a cup to start, and then you can eyeball it. There's half a cup. Incorporate. It comes together. I'll tell you a little secret. You do a little dash of A1 or Worcestershire, a little dash. It just brings out the beefy flavor. So that's one little trick that I do, and people like it. So get that. And when I say a dash, I mean a dash. Gives it a good beefy steak flavor. I'll grab another pair of gloves. I'm donning another pair of gloves. Keep it clean, no germs, and we're gonna shape it into our loaf, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven. And I'll tell you about all the time and all that. Okay, you don't want to over mix either. Make it all tough. You want to just now get it in there and.
What size casserole dish is that?
You want an 8x13 or a 9x13? This one is 8x13, and you want to make it like a loaf, kind of uniform, so it cooks evenly through. And that's how I do.
So it doesn't have to touch the sides?
Oh no, it doesn't. Of course not. But you want to kind of shape it like that. So it's kind of uniform. Okay? Now, some people put tomato sauce on the top or cheese. I do not. My family likes gravy and mashed potatoes and the sides. So we're going to go to a preheated oven at 375. Okay? 375 for 50 minutes. That's it. We put our timer on. We check our veg.
And how many squashes are those?
So this is one butternut squash, cubed. You do it on a medium-high boil, 20 minutes. Strain, and then mash. And I use a regular, standard potato mash, vegetable masher, after it's cooled. You gotta let it cool. And same thing, we got 5 medium-size regular russet potatoes. You can use yellow, Yukon Gold, whatever your family likes. But 5 medium potatoes boiled makes a nice mashed potato. And these are not quite done yet. They gotta go for another 15. This we can shut down.
How long are the potatoes usually boiled for?
Sometimes they take a half an hour, depending on if you got a hard russet potato and how many. These have been in there a good 15. They need another 5-7 minutes. Squash is fork tender. You want your, pick it up, yes, I'll show you, demonstrate. Okay, that squash is almost done. You want it fork tender. So I'd give this another 2 minutes, then I'll drain it. Meatloaf's in the oven. We got the timer set. You got the clock. Family's eating at 10 of 8. Okay, let me shut it off. Button's off. It's been in the oven for 55 minutes, and now it's got to come out. It's very hot, so be careful. Don't touch the dish. It's very hot. Okay. Watch your arms. That's hot. Okay, so now I usually transfer it from the hot dish onto a plate, and then people can serve their own size they like. And I do have one hungry boy waiting. Get this out of the way so no one gets burnt. And would you like me to slice it and show you what it looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll make Jared's plate. And then he can come back for another piece. There it is. Okay. There's your loaf. If you want to look, it's all cooked through nice. Okay, I'll make Dave's plate. There we go, right? And we'll come on over here and we'll get him some squash and some potatoes and gravy and corn. So that's on you. You say when. Good?
That's great.
Great. Squash. How's that? And a little corn niblet, right?
Yep.
And then however you want the gravy. You say, oh yes, I think it's good on everything. A little, especially the potatoes and the meat. Voila, there you have it. Baked meatloaf dinner. Okay.